I have recently built myself 2 snow guns and a snow lance, and a lot of you asked me to make a longer video about it. So in this video I want to showcase my snowmaking system and give you a few tips along the way if you want to make your own snow. This was me almost 20 years ago, stopping at literally every snow cannon so my dad could take pictures of me in front of them. By the way, if you recognize this ski resort, leave a comment. Back in the day, my first attempt to build my own snow cannon resulted in pure failure and a massive sheet of ice. In 2017 I've built a snow lance which worked okay, and perhaps you've seen it yourself, it was the one appearing in my YouTube video back then. 3 years ago I've started to work on Skadi, my 3D printed snow cannon, which now resulted in a system consisting of 2 snow guns and a snow lance plus 2 compressors. Snowmaking in general isn't too hard, it really only needs compressed air and water. Thanks for watching. Just kidding. Real snow cannons weigh more than half a ton, sip bathtubs of water in seconds, and are hard to maintain in a private area. If you were to operate them, chances are, with a throw distance of dozens of meters, only your neighbor is gonna get really excited. This is where the idea for Skadi came to life, and here we are. Skadi is a mostly 3D printed snow cannon consisting of a central fan, a nucleator nozzle combining water and compressed air to create ice nuclei, and additional water circuits plus a few other add-ons I'll get into in a minute. Water alone doesn't let you make snow unless you're below minus 40 degrees Celsius, which is exactly minus 40 American temperature units, surprisingly. You need something that initiates the transition from water to ice, for instance a nucleator nozzle. Let's have a look at the nozzle ring. This nozzle ring right here is basically in constant development. As you can see, compared to Skadi 2, it's a different design and output. But after a dozen of iterations and figuring out a solid spray angle, including testing different nozzles, it's actually working very well now. This nozzle ring also includes 2 separate water circuits, so you can base the amount of water output off the wet bulb temperature, shown in this display. Water output as well as the angle, rotation, fan and light are controlled manually. What Skadi 2 compared to the first one can do is basically make more snow under the same circumstances, but with increased convenience. 60% more output, which in numbers is about 600 liters of snow per hour, a more powerful fan, therefore a higher throw distance, and a touch display which sets us up for even more features. And it works with gloves, because a lot of people ask. I can assure you that. Many parts are interchangeable between both cannons, which means by printing a new nozzle ring, Skadi 1 could, in theory, increase its output from 400 to 600 liters. But practically, after 2 dozen nozzle rings, this gets expensive at some point. Skadi 2 also has Bluetooth capabilities, but I haven't implemented this yet, so let's skip it. Imagine an app for this one. Anyway, if you haven't noticed yet, it's red. Which color would you prefer? Tell me about it in the comments below. Skadi 2 can rotate a full 360 degrees instead of 100 degrees for Skadi 1 and has these height adjustments, which also found their way into Holly. More about the snow lance in a minute. After the first test last winter I figured that the floodlight was poor, so both cannons now share this one with way more power. Also, the nucleator nozzle on both cannons is now actively heated, so it prevents them from freezing. Both Skadis also have these LED lights on top. If they flash green, it means that the wet bulb temperature is low enough for snow production, so I can tell from afar if we are getting out of snowmaking temps. If it's too warm, the LED lights up red. The wet bulb temperature is calculated by the cannon based off sensor readouts, so basically each cannon has its own weather station. Despite major fan improvements over the last months, both cannons are fairly sensitive to wind because they can suck in their own water mist and then potentially freeze. Therefore, I developed a snow lance. This is Holly. Half the output of Skadi 1 but doesn't need any power. It's foldable for an easier storage, super lightweight and has 2 separate water systems as well. So you have to pay attention how much snow the temperature allows you to make. Holly is generally simpler to operate and good for smaller spaces. It has a snowing area of about 12 square meters. Many of you asked for these snow guns to be for sale. I tell you, product liability for a product like Skadi is an absolute nightmare. That's why I currently can't tell you more about this other than it's complex, but I'm working on it, especially for Holly. My whole system needs 3.5 to 8 bars of water pressure and air pressure respectively. The air consumption per minute is not super high. I'm working with this compressor for a year now, Veldinger FK100 Alu Pro, and it suits perfectly for Skadi. 100 liters of air at 4 bars of pressure is what's needed, and this compressor does exactly this. Plus, it's fairly quiet, made of aluminum so lightweight and doesn't rust. What's special about it? This 50% mode reduces motor wear and heat production dramatically. After 25 hours of operation, I don't see a decrease in output at all. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to take a look. Obviously, for the upcoming winter, to operate more than one cannon simultaneously, I was in need for an upgraded compressor. So I'm very happy that Weldinger have provided me with this FK250 Pro Mini. Super important to note, this doesn't change my opinion in any way. I basically looked for a suitable compressor for snowmaking for many years and found this Weldinger one as my solution a year ago. So I rated their products highly before, still doing it, nothing has changed. This is a 4-cylinder silent compressor with this 50% mode again, and a tiny tank, because snowmaking doesn't really need a tank. This silent, powerful but affordable compressors turned out to be great for snowmaking. Obviously oil-free, we really don't want that in our environment. As some of you turned out to be curious about compressor tech and snowmaking, I'll make a follow-up video to that. So altogether, with all snowmakers in operation, we can create up to 1.1 cubic meters of snow per hour with a power consumption of 2 kilowatts and a flow rate of 7 liters per minute. So this is my snowmaking system, and as my car is maxed out already, I'm going to focus on enhancing performance of these three and working on a water reservoir next. Otherwise, I'll be in need of a lorry soon. Ultimate goal: riding down a 30-meter snow parcours with a sled provided by my own snow guns and Snowcat. Feel free to join me along the way. That's about it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll either respond to you directly or make a video about it soon. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.